That's the flag.
Of the United States of America.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Vice President Anderson. President Goodson. Member Burkhoff.
Here.
Member Swallow. Here. Member Sweeto.
Here.
Yes, I-
Minutes. Yeah.
Oh, we have to do public hearing first.
Oh, okay. Okay. Public hearing on appropriation of bond proceeds.
Excuse me, I can't hear you.
Let's shut that mirror down now.
Are we gonna read it all, Tammy, or,
I'm not reading all of it.
okay, you just do the highlights? We can do it.
I know, they're gonna shut the thing down. Joe's gonna send it.
I don't have my paperwork to move it, so. Everybody had a chance to look at this?
Yes, I read.
Operate the transfer agreement.
Can't hear
It's a very lengthy document. I think we should have a motion. We vote on it by title only instead of reading it. So we need a motion. We need a motion to adopt it by title only. Does anybody want to make that motion? Or do you want to hear me read
Can't hear what you're
20 pages of this? I'll make
Didn't hear it.
I can't
Okay.
hear. I can't hear either. I'm sorry.
All right, I'll speak up. Sorry, I'm not shouting at anybody, what it sounds like when I raise my voice. I need a motion to, read this ordinance in by title only because the build, operate, and transfer agreement, the town of East Chicago's government renovation center is all of, 20-some pages, I think.
All right, I'll make that motion that we read it by,
And nobody wants to hear me read that long,
Yeah.
so. Second.
I'll second. Or, aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. We need a motion to, adopt this by title. No, that's, first is not to have to read it. The second one is to adopt the ordinance.
So you need a motion to adopt.
Yes.
Okay, need a motion to adopt.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made second.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Passed.
Excuse me, aren't we supposed to say the ordinance number when we do this?
It was, I don't have the ordinance.
I do. It's ordinance 2026-11.
Okay. Passing the ordinance 20.
Well, we're not, we have to have a second.
Well, we gotta have this.
There's a bonding. Oh, you got any other things?
This is, the first one we did was that operating agreement.
May I?
The build, operate, and transfer. I'll let
May I?
you do it, please.
So Trista Hudson here from Senator Dalton, Carl Sender's office, financial advisors. There's two things actually involved, and what Mr. Mullen referred to start with is the build, operate, transfer contract, which she just made the motion
Okay,
to
operate.
accept and approve. That's to get the actual construction going.
Okay.
Because of the way that contract goes, and Mr. Mullen can fill in the extra parts I leave out here, you do need a public hearing on that as well. So we'll ask that that public hearing be opened and opportunities and then closed. And then also to proceed with the numbered ordinance that you have here, which is the additional appropriation part related to the bonds as well. And so I can explain that a little bit more when we're ready for that on the agenda.
All right, so we can change this motion. The motion, first motion is to adopt the build, operate, transfer agreement, which everybody's seen. Chicago Government Central Renovation Project. And that will be the motion that we're gonna do this contract for the building of the new, or the remodeling of the new town hall.
So you need another motion?
Made a motion to.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made second.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And now we get to the second part of it.
And a public hearing though on that part first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anybody here? Does anybody in the town board want to say anything about this agreement, either for or against it?
Anyone? You want to explain what this is to the public?
Sure. So for the public safety, the government center building that is being remodeled, and I forget, I'm sorry, who you have been able to purchase it from?
We purchased it, it was the old American Legion.
American Legion, thank you. There's a company, a construction renovation company set up that will come help government units to build it, knowing that you have the funding in place, working through the processes here for the council to approve. And then when that's finished, then they transfer the ownership to you, as opposed to sometimes we would just have a spot of land and issue the bond at the beginning and then build it to be able to use it. It's just a little bit different timing issue. And it allows the financing structure with the bank to operate just a little bit differently. And so the council has to first approve this contract with that construction renovation company, allow time for public hearing if anyone has any comments for or against it. And then we'll proceed with the rest of the process for a small part of that cost to be a bond so that we can pay the remainder of it off in order for you to then receive control of the building.
So is there any public comment on whether we should adopt this agreement or not? Either by the town board members or by the audience? No one is raising their hand or indicating they want to speak.
No remonstrance.
No responses. Perfect. So, the vote on this is to adopt that contract. Okay, the next thing we need to do is ordinance 2026-11. This is the ordinance that we're about to get us the bonding for the purpose of financing the project. This one again is rather lengthy, and I would ask for a motion that we adopt it by title only.
How about that motion?
Second,
I'll second.
motion made, to read by title only, okay?
Is there, well, yeah, is there any discussion on the issue first of all from the town? Has everybody read this and are they comfortable with it?
Mhm.
So if I may only briefly, the ordinance is set up for two purposes today. One, to be able to allow you to then issue the bond, and secondly, the additional appropriation, which relates more to the budget portion of then being able to spend the bond money once you receive it. It's set up right now in the document that the maximum interest rate that you're authorizing is 8%. We don't think it will be that high. The only thing is we can't guarantee you, for example, 4% or 4.5% today because the economy sometimes changes from day to day. So we do expect it to be lower than 8%. We just won't know until we go to sell it with the banks and have them give you bids back. Lowest bidder, of course, will win, what the exact interest rate will be. The ordinance also includes different setups for what the max payments will be and some other language like that. It's all pursuant to different Indiana statutes with the bond council, and our office has reviewed it as well. But that would be really just the main highlight point that most people are interested in. It will require a public hearing as well before you make your final vote.
How many days do you put this out to?
Sure. So we will, because the amount is smaller, we're only asking to borrow on your behalf the 500,000. The building will cost more, but there's other ways of funding the other portions. Because it's only 500,000, that's not really an amount that the stock market, where you think of selling bonds normally, would be interested in. So what we'll do is work with your town manager and take suggestions from any council members as well of providing the information to local banks, and then they provide the bids. So First Financial, for example, there's a list of about 10 that we'll start with. There's even a few down in Indy that will bid on projects like this in Northwest Indiana.
Okay.
And so you'll get a good cross section.
So we have more than
Yes.
about 5 bids.
Yes. And so we'll send it out. It will go kind of through this advertising process, if you will. And then banks can decide to send the bids back on a particular day. And, we'll monitor that on your behalf and then get the lowest bid that comes in. And like I said, Sue, as town manager, will give final approval to that list. But it's very fluid and we take whatever suggestions that you have.
And so this ordinance won't be in effect until we get a final vote on it. Have the interest rate, is that what you're saying?
No, the interest rate included lists it now is a max of 8. And so we'll approve it today.
And
But then the
anything that we
bids will
get
come lower.
Lower than 8, we can enter into, but that's the next meeting.
Won't be another vote, no, it
Won't
just
be
goes
another
through the
vote.
bid process and then we'll of course inform yourself and council back on what the bids were. And let you see that there's a list and the lowest one will receive it and
We should do a roll call vote on it then.
Okay.
after a public hearing though.
The public hasn't indicated any comments on it, so, a roll call vote, I think we're entitled to, so.
Okay. Vice President Anderson, President Gibson,
Yay.
Member Greco,
Yay.
Member Swallow,
Yes.
Member Sweeto.
Yes.
Okay, the yeas have it. 4-0, so it passes.
Sorry. We did the same thing when we built the public works building, as for those of you who were on the council. So at that time, we did the same thing, we sent it out to the banks. First Financial took the first one, there was a flat rate of 2.99 for the first 7 years. After the 7 years, it jumped up now to 4.65. So, we did that in 2017, so so this is more or less the same concept, except the buildings there, they're building inside.
Yeah, and it is a smaller amount than what the Public Works building was,
Correct.
a little bit smaller.
And we are expecting to be able to
No,
pay it
I
off
just
in
wanted
5
to-
years.
Pay it off in 5 years, and it's not looking towards the residents, the town is paying.
No additional property
it's
tax.
not,
No,
Yes,
No.
no additional property tax.
because it was done it started in April, but the payroll
right now,
date was
we're
May,
thinking about this year.
so it's included. Okay.
That concludes the discussion, that's, everybody's voting, so that's the next item.
It's the town council meeting. So for anybody that came in after I announced it, there are additional agendas up here on the table next to Mr. Bachman, if you'd like one. Okay,
Where we at the minute?
town council meeting, let's start that.
Well, again, comes over. Right.
You did these things already.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, go ahead.
The minutes?
Mhm.
You say that or I do? You do.
You do.
Need a motion to approve the minutes of May 13th meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passed for minutes. Motion passed. Payment of bills, need a motion to pay the,
I'll make that motion.
motion made, second.
I'll second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed, the payment of bills. Funds and appropriation report for May 26th. Need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, second.
I'll second.
Any opposed? Motion passed for fund and appropriation report. Correspondence?
I don't have any.
None. Ordinance, none. Resolution, none. Department, Police Commission.
Good evening. So Monday we had our meeting regarding, obviously the issues at hand.
Say who you are. Say who you are.
Oh,
To the software.
sorry. I didn't get any follow. I'm the question. Sure you got it. Good call. So in light of the events that happened, Monday's meeting, we voted for termination of employment based on the probable cause from the county. With that being said, obviously we'll be in search for a new chief. In the meantime, we recommended to Mr. Gibson, the president of the council, that we wanted to recommend Commander Goff to be interim chief. So at that point, he agreed. So Goff will be the interim chief. And then we also recommend, I'm making a recommendation tonight that we've looked over the contract and we believe it's a fair and equitable contract on parties, and that we would like to recommend the council to pass that contract for Goff to be interim chief. And that's all we got.
No, the council has to approve. For him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The council has to-
that's what I'm making a recommendation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in the beginning you said Jim, but now Tom.
We need a motion.
The president appoints, and he did.
Yeah,
He did appoint interim chief.
correct.
Yeah,
And so now we need a motion in the contract, which is,
And this is through December 31st,
Yes.
2026.
That's all.
okay, John, thanks.
We need a motion to accept Blackman's contract.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, second.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Jocelyn will be the new interim police chief.
Do you have a contract for?
You
I
got it?
mean, don't we have to?
I have it right here.
Oh, okay.
This is,
I've got a ton of extra copies too, if anybody needs. So,
Is Jonathan on the phone, police report?
Yep, he's on here.
Okay. Police report. You up? Okay, thank you for your report.
That's it.
does any council member have any questions for Officer Goffin?
Chief Goffin.
Well, Chief,
No, I
Chief
don't.
Goffin now. Sorry,
Good.
Goffin.
Thank you, Gotham. Fire,
He did good police commission.
Hmm?
Never mind, he skipped police.
Yeah.
No.
no, you went first.
Okay. fine.
Okay, I gave the council, one of these, you have it.
Yeah.
And it just shows me 125 calls for the year. And as of, as of today, we had 12 mutual aid calls. He was other. Congressman, Merlin notified the court treasurer of a grant that was available. And it's a grant that will be, available for all departments throughout the United States for $648 million. If we are successful, we applied for a grant, we applied for this particular grant. And it looked pretty good. It looks good. The thing is that, if we do
we are successful with this grant, in 4 months, there's another grant coming out that we're going to apply for, our portable radios and our, bunker gear you see hanging on the rack back here. So. So I want to thank all the firefighters that, assisted in getting this grant ready, especially, Captain Hanson, who worked quite a bit on this. And also a big hand to the clerk treasurer for her assistance and help and everything in getting this out on time. Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, what we're going to do with this other grant, the first one that I explained to you, we want to get a new fire truck. Now, the fire truck is $500,000 fire truck. If we're successful with this grant, the $500,000 fire truck is going to cost the town $25,000. That's what it would cost the town for $500,000. And it's made in Louisiana. Yeah, can I approach the table here? Let's pass these out.
Sure.
That's what it looks like.
With us.
Now, I want you all to know that these fire trucks out here, oh, come on, I mean, one's in 1988, the other two are like 2002 or something of that nature. And, in the period of 2022 to 2025, your new Chicago Fire Department responded to over 1,400 calls. That includes 98 structures and 64 public hazard calls. In this particular grant that we're trying to get approved, it's an AFG grant, Assistant to Firefighter Grant is what it is. I want to thank Congressman Nervat for notifying us that it was available and give us the opportunity to apply for the grant. So and lastly, I would just like to say that, we are in dire need of a new vehicle. And believe it or not, the one we're looking at right there will fit in here. Surprisingly.
Yeah, that's what I asked.
That's one of the biggest problems we have is the size of the station and the width of the station, whatever. We're way out of room. We don't have no room for anything, but we're surviving. We're doing all right.
May I say something? If this grant goes through and the town has to pay 25%, Chief, 25,000, Chief Goffin, this is where you come in.
No longer connected.
Oh, I told him to stay on.
I don't know if maybe his connection dropped or not.
Oh, well, public safety has $28,591, so they do have the 25,000. And I'm sure, I don't always want to say Officer Goffin, but it's Chief Goffin. I'm sure he'll have no problem with it.
Joe, what's the cost up front? Did Lexipol doing this or did you guys do it?
Then how much did the grant writer?
6,000.
6,000.
So we had to pay 6,000 to the grant writers in order to try to secure.
Well, I mean, they can get something else. They already said they could get something else.
So I'm just telling you, so they need 6,000 out of public safety in order to get it.
Yeah,
And Lexipol is probably gonna get it, so that's how we did the police.
because you can't beat this deal for a new truck. We can't afford a truck otherwise.
But if you don't get the grant around,
$500,000 brand new vehicle for $25,000. You would.
so 25,000 plus your 6,000.
Yeah.
That'd be
So
31.
31,000. Or you almost, I don't want to drain this
I
completely.
agree.
I mean, what do we get monthly on this, or do we get
So I just
quarterly?
have a question, Joe.
We get money.
So how is the ambulance service going with Lake Station? Is it working smoothly or?
It's going real well.
Okay,
Okay,
it's okay.
town manager and I went, had a meeting with the Lake Station and everything's going okay. I checked with the firefighters quite often, asking, hey, how did it go? Everything fine, everything, so on and so forth. There's a couple bumps in the road, but I'll take care of them. I'll take care of them.
What's their stance on next year?
What's that?
Do they have a stance on next
Next
year?
year's election year, you never know.
It's too early.
Joe and I will set up another meeting the end of this quarter, June, and, talk to the mayor and Chuck again, so. Second quarter.
Okay. So any other questions on the fire truck?
No, I think that, I hope this goes through for you guys. Well,
One other,
You guys had enough information.
Have the,
yeah, tell me when you notified, they told me today, the meeting with us will coming up, right?
Have a video conference tomorrow,
Video.
right in there, the grant. I'd like to mention also, it should not be 6,000. It's 13,000 retained, I mean, they've already paid 6,000 for change police department. So it can probably just be an additional 5,000 instead of 6. Or whatever, 60.
You got it.
What's the motion?
the motion
That
to
doesn't change the whole year.
approve the retainer for granting that claim.
Okay, need a motion to approve the retainer for the grant.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, second,
I'll second.
all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
motion.
The citizens want to know how to act, they drive by the fire station, see a new fire truck sitting out there. Heck, I might myself, okay, gee whiz. One other quick thing, I want to mention just a while back, we had a violent storm come through town and two big old trees fell over near Garfield and Arthur Street, across the street. Thank God nobody was driving through there because those were big trees. I notified the town manager, I notified, the council president. I also notified Robert here. And, I just want to say that our firefighters were out there for 3.5 hours. They didn't have to be out there for 3.5 hours. They're just there to make sure the scene is safe. Everything is okay. The scene is safe, Nip goes there, whatever, go back to station. But no, the firefighter stayed out there with the town employees and helped get this stuff off the road so we can clear it path, whatever. Thank you for the town manager coming out there and helping us with a couple bumps in the roads. Thank you for coming out and, I just want you to know you're got a bunch of good guys on this fire department and, we thank you for your support.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for doing all the fireworks that was there. Town manager,
I spent 2 hours down with Joe Locken down in the new building today, trying to figure out where we're gonna put our internet and things. In that building, there's no air ladies at this time, so, and you too, Jim. Anyway, I think, Joe, we're waiting for Dalton to get back for the police, but, Joe's pretty well got it figured out where we need it in the office. And how they're gonna hook it up or what.
Is it gonna be overhead or on the floor? The ductwork?
No,
He's
this is
talking
all-
about
this is all
internet.
Oh, internet?
Yeah,
Oh,
this is all internet.
that goes overhead.
Yeah, it'll be in there. So there'll be wireless access. There is a spot in the council chambers, where they did put electrical up high on the wall for us to be able to mount the TV. That way, when if we have to do another, meeting where somebody zooms in,
Screen.
everybody will be able to see them where
Yeah.
they speak. And the door locks system, the access control system.
Okay, excuse me, what kind of locks are those? Are the ones too we talked about before where you could, if somebody left, you just take them off?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it'll be the same kind of key fob style, like what you have to get in
yeah,
school currently.
but you don't have to change. You can just wipe them off on the
Right.
computer. Okay.
So we'll have that, the quotes that we received from Victor Tech, and also Tri Electronics was for, running up the cable, installing security cameras, installing the access control, system for the doors. And then, the last part from Victor was moving the computers from, the school over to the new building.
And setting
And set
everything
them up. That way, if something, when they go set them up, if something doesn't work,
They're there.
they're already there. We're not waiting for them to be able to come up.
Yeah.
I
So,
agree.
so that's all been taken care of. I've spoken with, Chief Dolphin. He is good with the quotes as they were. There may be stuff that we add in later on from the police department, but speaking with Booker Tech, that's all stuff that can easily be added on at a later time. So as far as that part goes, we're covered.
So we need the plumbing inspector out tomorrow to inspect the plumbing. That'll be done. We need Lou out Monday to inspect the electrical. It's done, okay? So Lou's got a problem. He can come out Monday afternoon. I've already contacted him. I haven't heard back from
Well,
Willie.
is it Willie that has the plumbing? Is he gonna come? You
Yeah.
better see, I've never
Yeah.
met him.
So I called him, and usually he gets right back to me. I haven't even from him yet, but I'll get him out there. He's already, when they did the sewer and that, he's already inspected that. So Anyway, the building's moving along. I notified the end of the month and I want that water department in there. So.
And you need to, they're gonna shed you out of there. You won't have no electricity.
Trust me, they're not.
Thank
They
you,
like me to move out, but they're not gonna force me.
thank you, Sue. Park Board,
You have notice?
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Okay, let me see if I can remember this off the top of my head. It has been, I know we are still moving forward with the last part of the CDBG grant from county. We still have a little over $1,000 left from that after doing the playground equipment and the mulch. So we're gonna use the last of that money to put in the drinking fountain, over by the garage building. So all in, after, the grant money, and a little bit that we'll have to spend out of the parks building fund, we'll have done all this for right around $4,000 or $5,000 out of pocket. So, we are also in the process of changing over the security cameras from the ones that we got from AC Low Voltage to Blink, security cameras that also have, the floodlights on. So if somebody goes through there at night, not only will the floodlights turn on, but we'll be able to actually get a video of,
What are you gonna do with the other cameras you got there?
I don't know yet. So that's something, because we're also looking at, with the current condition of the snack shack, and knowing that we do not have, will not have the money to get that actually replaced at any point soon. We are looking at the options of just having that torn down and just kind of making that another, grass area for now. But that's something that we're still, kind of throwing around ideas with, because we'll have to get a hold of NIPSCO, have them, cap off the gas line. There's gonna be a whole process to it, so. But that is something that we're looking at, knowing that, like I said, knowing we're not gonna have, the money to actually replace the building, but
Is the building that bad where it needs to be torn down?
yes, the floor is actually, the entire floor on the inside is actually becoming very soft.
Okay.
There's mushrooms growing outside of the building. Yes.
It's been there since 1971.
Right. So,
Okay.
It was elsewhere before there.
yeah,
Williams Car.
so, Tony, what am I forgetting? Can you think of anything else off the top of your head?
Nothing major. We've taken the first step on investigating a grant to possibly, renovate the basketball court area.
That was
a long process. That's within the next year. I mean, just the process of applying for the grant. We've taken the first step, which is a letter of intent. Then if we pass that level, there's like levels of hurdles behind the intent. But we are examining the possibility of remodeling the basketball court.
Okay.
And that'll be either a complete without redo or just a
Resurface?
resurfacing,
That'd be
redoing,
cheaper.
and not by much actually from
No.
those we got.
Really?
Yeah. But either one is gonna actually, new fencing, benches, people will be able to sit. So either way, it's gonna look really good. And it's gonna raise, not only is it gonna give them more even surface so that when it rains, we shouldn't have all the ponding that we currently do. It's also gonna raise it up.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, that's in the planning phase is also the lunch program in conjunction with Riverview Schools underway. We'll go through the start of next month. And, we started off slow. We had 30 kids the other day, so we're getting still good results.
and I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe. Plan Commission,
No meeting tonight.
George,
You.
So,
you're up.
Yeah.
You're up, Robert.
I hear you. Sewer, sewer. As far as the sewers, everything is, okay with that, as of right now, to date. And nothing, reported. Also, the lift stations are doing their job.
Thank you. Streets,
Streets. Spring drains and weeds are starting being picked up as scheduled permits after meter reading obligations have been on. I would also like to say to all the residents, if you hire a tree service to cut down your trees, it's your responsibility to have them take it with them. It's not the town's to dispose of them. And any trees that residents cut down that are larger than 6 inches in diameter, they have to dispose of. We don't have the capacity to chip them and get rid of them. Potholes are being addressed as time permits. Amongst the other things we have.
I do have a question about the
Yes.
potholes.
Yes,
Because you told me on Van Buren Street that it was layers,
yes.
so that can't be filled in?
Again, like I said last time at the last meeting, they can be filled in. 15 minutes later, we'll have to be back there to put it in our can.
I mean,
No.
you can't do that like you can a pothole.
No, if you fix it, we have to cut it out
Oh,
and then heat it, and everything else. It's a major undertaking.
okay.
And I mean, anything is possible. But if it's layers on, it's just not that bad. The bad ones we are gonna address. If there's a hole there, we may cut the street and fix them. We will. I've already talked to the town manager about this, and it's just, in all honesty, time.
Okay.
When you're getting pulled in 6 different directions at one time, you gotta prioritize stuff. Water is priority. Exactly.
Yeah, the first 2 weeks of the month.
on garbage, you got a contract coming up in December.
Water,
Meter installation with D&B, that's a company that's installing all the meter heads,
The what, okay.
have been tentatively, finished. And we are currently we are noting all other non-Neptune meters to be replaced. Hopefully a water clerk can complete a list so water department workers can change out as time and workload permit to have conveyed, and I've also conveyed this to the town manager. Once we get a list of them, we'll start putting them on there and then they get loaded in the computer. And so eventually, when the computer system becomes operational, that's,
So what's happened, DB's computer is not reading with Anson's computer, so nothing can get downloaded. It's New Chicago. So what he's doing is changing out all the badger meters that we didn't know we had. Once we do that, we are manually putting them into the computer system. Once we get them in that computer system, Anson can read it, okay? But in the meantime, they're having to read,
Well, they have to change the Badger.
and we're having to bill on top of everything else that they're having to do. So
Oh, well,
it's New Chicago.
hopefully it'll get,
that's,
it'll be easier then.
that was my
Hopefully.
next point. Manual meter reading is still being done and will continue until all technical issues are fixed with the system. I will defer all questions because I'm asked all the time by customers,
Why are you gonna start reading it like that?
okay, I will defer all those questions to the water department clerk or whomever else wants to answer them. Because in all honesty, when you sit there and you get one customer, you have to do this, you have to do that, time after time after time, it slows it down, and we'll be sitting until next month at this time reading meters. And I'm not trying to be facetious or anything, but you know, time is of the essence, bills need to get out and at a certain time, so people get their bills and they don't get late fees and this and that and everything else. So everything has to happen in a certain sequence for it to, everything to work.
Bills are late, our first set in town ones went out today, they usually go out on the sixth. Their due date is still the 20th, they have all day on the 22nd, that's a Saturday and Sunday. Okay, 5, 6, and 7, we're having to do the same thing, put the manual meters into the system, so I don't know when they're gonna go out. So, and then we still got 8 through 13 to do, so we're doing the best we can do.
I agree. They are doing good. Okay, that's all with the water.
stormwater,
MS4. All right. Sinkholes found on Ohio and Human. The also said sinkhole was a void in the connection between the belt and the inlet pipe. And the mass influx of water and the backup coming from across the North Lake Park being backed up from the inlet over by the park and coming into the thing, and there was a whole influx of that comes over to Ohio and goes down Ohio, which goes out to the alcohol at the end into the river. So we wait for it to dry up, we fixed the sinkhole, and we fixed the connection between the belt and the outlet. Everything is safe and operating as it should now.
Oh. We've had a lot of rain.
It's only helpful, like, but we got a hold of the problem, we had 2 weeks for it to cure, so it should be good.
Okay. Old business? Any old business? He had to go out because the FBI's, the president had to go out because the FBI is now finishing up their investigation, at least in the town records. New business, any new business? The legal reports, it's been a tough couple of weeks in the town. Some very unfortunate news about what we're learning, about things we did not know about, what's going on in the police office. Today, there was the FBI there, at the town hall, and, they did go through the records. I talked to the AUSA, who's the Assistant United States Attorney for the Northern District of Indiana. He's not the whole one, but he didn't indicate that there were any new or fresh to me. Of course, he couldn't say any new or fresh
Speak up a little.
problems with the town. All of this is related, at least now, in an investigation to the chief, as much as I can understand him. He's not willing to go very much farther than that from what he said, though I gathered. They're really just looking at to see if he's done anything else. You know, so he may have some more trouble. We don't know. There's nothing that I got from him that indicated that they're looking at anything else or anyone else. You know, we're gonna have some tough times for a while. Get the police force back on track. We do have some very good officers, some decent, very decent people. This is unfortunate. You know, one of the issues that we have is the police department itself is more or less an independent agency. The town council here can vote their budget. But by law, the town council nor the town manager can direct the police force how to police. You know, it's the chief of police that makes that determination, makes the policies and all that. What we don't have, and I don't know of any way to do this, is anybody to write herd of over the monies taken in by the police force. I think we're gonna have to do that in the future somehow. I'm not sure how to work that out. We'll work with the clerk treasurer to get something so we can make sure that no police officer gets any money other than what's supposed to be brought in to pay tickets and all that. It's challenging, but I think we're gonna get through this. Just like the meter readers and the new town hall, it's gonna be a process and take a while. That's it for the legal report.
Do you have your ordinance going for the property?
Yeah, I had that. Did we advertise it?
You told me I had to mail it. But it
You
didn't
said it was
be
under
advertised.
5,000, you didn't have
It was
to.
under.
Oh, yeah, it's under 5,000.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we can have a motion, but we need, I think we need Jim back in here to have a forum. Let's see.
Well, we-
1, 2,
we-
No,
We got
you guys
three.
didn't.
All
get
right.
one. I had to mail certified,
That's free.
yeah.
That's okay. We can get a quarter. Yeah, let's go ahead and that they were mailed and we'll get service, so that's good. We should be good.
Mhm.
So we need a motion to sell this or well, we'd already agreed to sell it and to award that bid to who is it? Robert Keel for the sum of $5,000. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, so motion, well, we need a roll call. We need all three of them to vote.
Okay. Member Greco,
Yeah.
member Sweeto,
Here,
and member Swallow.
Yes.
I mean, yes.
The yeas have it by a vote of 3.
All right.
One of them would be to give them a quick claim deed. or-
Yeah, we'll give them a deed, not a warranty deed, quit claim deed, because we're not gonna spend $2,000 on a warranty deed. And I wouldn't spend that on them, if I were them either, so. We will give them a quick claim deed, and if they have a lawyer, they can send it to me, or if I get a legal description,
Yeah, well, I go and you take care of it.
okay, do you have the legal description? I think we already have that, I know we do.
Yeah, don't know where.
Yeah, I just think, I know we have it, so
Okay.
we'll put that up there.
We'll get the legal.
Okay.
You can go home.
All right, that's it for legal reports, announcements. Any other business to come for the council? a little afraid to say this, open forum,
Yes,
okay?
this lady had her hand up first. Stand up, please, and say your name.
I was here like almost a year ago. We have an issue with my neighbor with them not abiding by our ordinances. I contacted, the mayor, or.
The mayor,
We've done everything, I'm keeping it forward, and you gotta go, let's go get a survey done in. And we provided a survey, they done all the grass up, all the way to our garage, all the way to our driveway. Now we have concrete and stone, all the way to our driveway, which now all the spring water's coming in, and it's going in the garage, it's going all over our property, and nobody's doing it. I mean, we did hire a lawyer to sue them personally for the survey and for the damage that they caused our property, but it's supposed to be a buffer zone, and I talked to, Mr. Fowler, and he said, the county, and he said that I have to go in front of the board, I have to have everything like documented, and then I have to then go in front of like the Indiana Department of Environmental something or other and bring lawsuit because nobody's, I didn't ask him.
yeah, but
Just don't.
but part of the lawsuit where your lawyer is suing them would take care of the situation. Yeah. Well, yeah, but one of the remedies in the civil court is to move that stuff off. A civil court, not a criminal court, can, enter an injunction prohibiting them from putting anything.
But they already did it, and I'm changing it.
Well, yeah, but they can, this is, yeah, but here's the deal. In a civil court, the court can order not just money damages, but force them, if your lawyer asks for it and has it in the complaint, force them to remove anything that they put on your property off of it.
Okay. Is there, okay, well, her driveway is, okay, like. Their property technically is right here, but they're a business, they're a commercial business. And they extended their their parking lot, they extended their parking lot with no permits, no survey, no nothing, to put cement all the way to our driveway, which is, there's no place for the run of water. So we have the snow from their parking lot, from the snow. Instead of pushing it sideways like they always have onto the buffer zone right
This
here.
is a complicated legal matter. It's not for us to enforce this.
But
If they didn't get the permits, we can enforce that.
right, they get no permits.
Well, that's something we can give them to. We are not, we don't govern property disputes between neighbors. We can't pay for that. We can't pay for the
Where
legal.
do velocities at?
We can ticket them if
They're
there's,
not right together with the
Velocity. She's on the here. Okay, I see.
When the snow comes in there, instead of pushing the snow sideways like they always have between our property, like they all, like you said, for 20 years, so they moved in. Now they move it 15 through, so we're trying back out of our driveway, and you got cars coming, and we have school bus that don't even have to stop. Usually I go to the school bus, doesn't have to stop on it, that now they have to stop in front of Michigan to come and bring it, and cars are going all the way around.
we can't judge and act on the disputes between neighbors. If you say, if they did this work without a proper permit,
Correct.
yeah, the town can, ticket them for doing it.
But that's what
For not, yeah, yeah, but for ticketed for what? There's nothing that- I'm talking about ticketing them for building something without a permit.
Okay, okay.
They're not for,
But now they're
going to the-
there's no setback. So now the snow and all that, all the water is in.
Ma'am,
rental issue.
there's plenty of lawsuits. You can see them in the state of Indiana. There's one that the Supreme Court of Indiana said water is a common enemy. As long as you're not channeling it onto your neighbor. As long as you're not, it's a common enemy, and as long as they're not channeling it to your property. I mean, if they got a ditch and you do it, then you can go to court and sue for it, if you think they'll challenge it, channel it. But otherwise,
We documented, they told me to come document to the city council, I got it twice now, and we'll get it from there.
you document it, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, any more public comment?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Uh,
Your name, sir?
Bill,
Where do you
what
reside?
I don't know is with this new police chief that we're getting,
Mhm.
now, you're gonna be qualified,
Oh, he is.
He's
he's
qualified.
gonna have background checks for it,
He's already had a background check.
and, the two homicides that they had in Chicago,
Mhm.
past. Never heard anything more on those, are they gonna be reinvestigating the feds and state?
I know nothing about that.
Not likely. It really is more, looking at whether they could prosecute these, given the testimony of the officer.
Well, was there ever,
I don't know what the,
town doesn't know what the outcome was?
I don't know.
no, the prosecutor, that you can look it up in my case and see what was done with those charges. If anything, whether they may be still set for trial, I don't know.
Well, from what I was told, it was already.
Tried and pleaded or whatever.
He said that it was, justified shooting.
If he said it was
and nothing
justified,
ever said in the paper or anything about
then
it.
nobody's gonna,
That's the state police,
in that case, then they do a civil, they can file the family can file a civil
That's
suit.
why I say the family, I know family, that's why I want to know.
They could file a civil suit, but there's not gonna be any more criminal charges or any new after this long. Unless they find some new evidence of a crime, some witness came forward or some DNA or something like that. It's not, I was more worried about, him having to testify because he really wouldn't be able to in upcoming trials where somebody got hurt or injured or did something really bad. That's gonna be one of the really down things because his testimony won't be worth much if he gets convicted of these things. Even with those allegations, could you imagine putting him up on the stand to testify as to what the guy did or didn't do? It's gonna be very difficult for the state to prosecute any charges like that. In my past experience, when the officer has something like this, they generally drop the charges.
Oh, God.
The state of Indiana. Because there's no way to prove them. If we could get a new, chief in here who's willing to reinvestigate it and all that and do something, but that's really what's gonna happen. It'll probably be dismissed unless they have some other way of proving that that person did the crime. Yes, it hurts, not just what he did do, but it has ramifications to all the cases we had. After talking with the judge, we decided to, dismiss all the cases where he was the one giving the ticket. We had to.
Yeah.
I talked to her, there was another issue about that, but. So it's unfortunate, but that's, when the chief, that's why it's so important to get a chief who's, go by the book. And, the other part of that is we don't really have the power to tell the police chief how to do his job. We have the power of the purse. The town council can say, we'll pay him this much or that much or whatever, but as far as once we hired him, the police commission is the only one that can discipline him. But it's difficult when the chief of police is the one that is usually in charge of the whole show. So,
They want to micromanage it.
yeah. And anybody who wants to would probably not appreciate that for very long. It's not a good idea in general anyway, second guessing your chief. a police, you have to, we have to get somebody, we need to vet him well and pray that he or she is honest. Nothing else we can do at the time, so. That's gonna end the public comment section. Do we have anything else?
Sort of the, sort of,
Yeah,
making accusation about contact item and this and that and everything else. You're absolutely right about civil matter. And as far as them pushing snow out onto Michigan, I personally went and told them they cannot put any snow or obstruct any kind of thoroughfare traffic or anything else like that anywhere near anything. That is a shared property line.
Yeah.
Okay, and whether you like your neighbor, you don't like your neighbor, like you said, that's. There's nothing we can do in a civil manner.
No.
But as far as the snow out on Michigan, it never happened and it won't happen, because I made sure that.
They had the dumpster out there, they didn't want your dumpster out there. I called and asked them to move the dumpster, move the dumpster over. John's been there 15 times, Oak's been there 15 times, Robert's been there 12. I mean, there's nothing we can do.
yeah, we don't,
Snow, I'm dressing what she said, snow, I don't want to see. And I made sure that I'm not doing anything they were supposed to be doing. Or traffic or anything like that, because that's all I can do, honestly. I'm not a.
no,
I can't arrest them or anything like that.
we don't rule on which neighbor is right or wrong. That's not our function. If a police officer or, what you call it, an officer who goes around giving ordinance violations, sees something they did that they shouldn't have done, they can ticket that. That's, the sole extent of our power. We don't have the power to dispute or to decide land, quarrels between neighbors, nor should we. Is it, I think that's the end of open forum, comments from the board members. Okay. Assuming there's no comments from the board members, we need a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Meeting adjourned.
All in
Meeting adjourned.
All in favor?